an evidence. Nothing of it.
Yeah, but that's because you're guided by your God.
No, not at all. You've already conceded. No. It's very, very simple. You've conceded you don't know what caused the origin of this universe, yeah? Right?
Yeah, but you don't know.
No. I can't prove God. I can't prove a creator. You're right.
You're saying, yeah.
No, right. Yeah. So I can't prove there's a creator. All I can do is produce my evidence why I believe it's so. But you can't produce anything because you don't know.
No, but no one knows.
Right, but
Scientists don't know.
Right, but at the same time,
all the scientists and the whole world don't know.
So why have you chosen? Why have you chosen? I don't know.
Because we don't know. It's as simple. It's the truth.
No, but why are you stuck there? How will anyone ever know?
I'm not stuck. No. Well,
what do you mean?
Well, eventually we'll find out.
Right. So why are you not looking at the counterclaim?
What, God?
A creator.
Because it's just not on, is it?
Why is it not on?
Because it's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous? Why is it nonsense? Why is it nonsense to believe there's a power that exists outside of the universe greater than anything that exists within the universe? We just said science dictates that.
There's no proof for it. There's no evidence.
There is proof that there's a power outside the universe greater than anything within the universe. We've proven that.
There's no evidence or proof for your claim whatsoever, and you know that. And you can't explain it.
I can't prove God exists to you.
Exactly.
As you can't prove God doesn't exist to me.
That's what
Right.
No, I can't.
Right.
There may be a God. There may be a God.
So we have to. So.
There's no evidence for it.
Right. So what we have to do? You're staying there. You don't believe there's a creator, and you can't prove there's not a creator.
No.
And I'm standing here saying there is a creator, but I can't prove to the creator because it's beyond our comprehension. Okay. The next question is, why don't you believe there's a creator? Why?
Well, because there's no evidence
for what reason?
There's no evidence for it.
For what reason? When did you become an atheist? At what point? At what point did you stop believing in God?
Everyone's born an atheist.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Really? So you're telling me everybody's born not believing in God?
Yes, exactly, yes.
Are you serious? What? A baby is born not believing in God?
Until what age you use
Do you not realise not believing in God is a choice?
No,
You understand that, don't you?
No,
you choose not to believe in God.
Everyone is born with religion. Everyone is born.
No. Do you understand? Atheism is a choice.
Your parents teach you religion when you grow up.
Do you understand that or not? Do you understand that basic logic?
My parents didn't believe in
Do you
God.
understand that basic logic? You choose not to believe in a creator. It's a choice.
No,
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. The evidence is not there to believe in a creator.
You're a baby. How can you have choice?
You choose to believe in religion.
You're a baby. How can you have
That's
choice?
how you choose. Human beings are born atheist.
How can a baby be born not believing in God?
Because there's no evidence for it.
Good question. Okay. A baby is not born believing in God. But a baby is born a Muslim.
Neutral.
I'll explain why. I'll explain.
What about
I don't see anything with explanation unlike you. I'll explain. So I'll say it again. A baby is not born believing in God, but a baby is born. But every baby, Hindu babies, Chinese babies, your babies when you have them, all of them are born Muslim, according to what we believe. And I'll explain why.
Yeah, but that's not true though.
Well, yes, it is true, and I'll explain why.
It's not true.
I'll explain why. How can you say it's not true and not explain why?
Because you said all Chinese.
Where is your logic, my friend? You're an atheist. You must be intellectual.
Where's your logic?
Cannot explain anything.
Well, am I going to give you a chance? Let me explain. All right. I'll explain.
Born Muslim, are they?
Yes, they are.
Let them explain.
It's not
Right. Because what am I saying?
Yeah, but you can't explain.
What am I saying? I'm saying a baby. I'll address you actually because you asked the question. It's a fair question. Okay. Every single baby is born submitting to its natural instinct. Yeah? When it comes out of its mother's womb, when it sucks on the teat, on all of these things, when it cries, when it's got a dirty nappy, and when it cries when it wants food. This is natural instinct that it's been given by whom? Its creator. Actually, I believe in a creator. Okay. Muslim means the one who submits to the will of their creator. So we believe all children, all babies, are all born submitting to the will of their creator. As are all animals submitting to the will of their creator, because they only work on instinct, nothing else. Now a baby will act on instinct for a while. Then it'll start learning. Then it'll start having impressions of its family put on it. So if it's a Hindu, it'll have a dot put on its head. If it's a Muslim, it'll have a topi put on its head. If it's a Sikh, they'll start growing its hair. Yeah? If it's an atheist, always putting earrings in and stuff. Whatever. The point here is this.
Earrings.
In Islam, what we're told is that every single child, up until the age of puberty, up until the age of reasoning,
So Eskimos are born Muslims.
every single baby born in this world today, up until so forget baby,
So why not Christian then?
every single child, because babies are not born believing Jesus died for their sins, that's why.
Why not,
And you have to believe that to be a Christian. Babies don't believe that.
why are they born Hindus?
Okay, because as Hindus you have to believe in Vishnu and Krishna and Ganesh, and they don't believe that either.
What makes you right and them wrong?
Right, because they are born submitting to the will of their creator, they are born submitting to their
Why are
instincts.
you right and the others wrong?
Do you believe babies are born believing Jesus died for their sins?
Of course not.
Right. Do you believe Hindu babies are born believing that Ganesh had his head cut off and put an elephant head and all that business on?
Babies are born, they
Do you
don't
believe
believe
that?
anything,
Do you
do
believe
they?
that?
They don't believe anything.
Do you believe babies are born believing Moses parted the Red Sea?
They're not capable of-
No, right. If I can continue with the lady, I'll come to what you're saying.
Don't say that.
So all babies, even her, do you have children? Do you have children?
I have lots of grandchildren.
How old are your children? Oh, you don't have any children? Oh, inshallah. You have children. You will have. And when a child is born, it'll be a Muslim. Okay. According to what I believe. And when I say being a Muslim, it's not going to believe the Quran's the word of God and believe Muhammad did something. No. I say submitting to its will. Submitting to the will of its creator, the one who created it. Just as a bird, when it hatches from its egg, it submits to the will of its creator. Just as a salmon swims upstream, it submits to the will of its creator. Just as everything in the animal kingdom, just as the caterpillar turns into a butterfly, it submits to the will of its creator. Islam means submission to God, submission to the creator. Muslim is the one who does that. In English, we put ER on the end of the word to show you doing the action. So if you walk, you're a walker. If you work, you're a worker. In Arabic, you put mu in front of the word. So if you do Islam, you're a mu-Islam or Muslim. Okay? So all children, all babies are born submitting to the will of their creator. We believe as Muslims that any child in this world, whether they're Eskimos, whether they're Chinese, whether they're Hindu, whether they're atheist, if they die before the age of puberty, guaranteed paradise. Yeah? They have got no accountability whatsoever on them. It's when they reach the age of understanding and they get to choose for themselves that then accountability comes on. That's when their religion kicks in. So if they were brought up in a Christian family, that's when they become Christians. If they're brought up as an atheist family, that's when they'll become atheists. If they were Hindus, they become Hindu. Do you get me?
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely logical
Thank you.
argument. It totally makes sense.
But-
the only argument here is
Whether there's a creator or not.
Whether there's a creator.
Yeah,
That's
fair
all
enough.
it comes down
Right,
to.
right.
Logic makes
Which
sense
is fair.
to you, logic makes sense.
And he's accepted he can't prove there's no creator. I can't prove there is a creator.
Yeah, and so then
So no. Then the next question is, why doesn't he believe there's a creator, and why do I believe there is a creator?
Yeah.
Right, that's the next logical step. Let's carry on. So why don't you believe there's a creator?
There's no evidence.
But that's not a reason not to believe in something.
Of course it is.
Okay, what if the nature of this creator? Okay, what evidence would you accept?
Well, if God parted the clouds now and came down and said, yes, I am God, then yes, I believe.
You believe?
God. Probably, yeah.
Why don't you believe in purple elephants from outer space?
Do you believe in purple elephants from outer space?
No, but
Why should
why
I?
don't you?
Why should I?
It's the same thing. It's the same.
Really?
No,
Why is it?
no, I said-
Is there evidence of purple elephants from outer space?
No. there's
So why
no-
should I believe in
there's
them?
No evidence of a creator. So why should he believe?
How can you say there's no evidence of a creator? I've not even told you the evidence of a creator.
Because you can't.
You don't have any evidence.
Listen,
There's no evidence.
I said to you I can't prove it. I can provide my evidence.
You can believe in it.
No. Belief is not reality. Okay, I can provide my evidence. He can provide his evidence, and we can look at the evidence and decide who has the stronger evidence. Clearly. Now, right now, his evidence is he doesn't know. That's his evidence. Right now.
No, it's not like
Now, he might bring something more substantial to the table. I'm not sure.
Perfectly valid.
Yeah.
I'm an agnostic. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
But, all right. So, in a court of law,
don't-
evidence is not. I don't know. Did he do it, my lord? I don't know. What kind of witness are
You
you?
don't have to prove that. You don't have to. You're never.
If you're trying to say to somebody, I'm a fool for believing in a creator, that he doesn't even know if there's a creator or not, yeah? How can he even say I'm a fool for believing in a creator?
I don't think he really is. I don't think he's saying.
Point to the
I don't
creator.
think he's saying that you are.
I believe the creator outside of the universe, and outside the universe is that way.
Is it?
Well, it's not that way, is it?
I don't know. You're telling me.
Going back to my point. So, your claim is there's no creator, my claim there's a creator. So I'm asking you, from all these people here, what evidence do you have that there's no creator? And your answer is, where is he? Where is he?
you were born.
Where is he? Where is he? Right. And then I ask for the evidence you'll accept, and the evidence you'll accept is that they'll part the clouds. Yeah? Now, I know you're lying, you see. You don't even know you're lying yourself yet. Alright, so you're telling me you're a liar or not. You've said to me, your evidence is if the cloud parts, and what, a hand comes down or something? What do you want? What evidence do you want? To prove prove that this is the case?
I said to you, if God parted the clouds and came down and said, I am God,
I am God. Then you'll believe.
then I believe it.
All right, all right.
He wouldn't believe that. You wouldn't.
Okay, I wouldn't believe that. No way would I believe that.
So why?
No, because no. I'm asking it's evidence. See, if you want to prove something and someone says, well, do this and that for me, then you'll prove it. Like, for example, say I'm a faster runner than you. People say, prove it. I say, well, let's have a race. And I beat you in a race, then I've proven to you.
You can't prove God.
Right. So,
You've got no evidence for it.
but then how can you then ask for evidence if you have no criteria for evidence?
No, I'm just asking you to prove it.
Well, you just said there's no evidence. You don't know what evidence you're looking for. Of course you won't know evidence. You don't know what you're looking for.
You can't
The
provide
evidence could be in front of your eyes. You don't know what you're looking for.
You can't provide it, can you?
I can only provide the evidence you're asking. What are you asking? If you're asking for the clouds to part, well, we'll roll with that. I'm pretty sure David Blaine can make the clouds part. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you probably could.
Right. I'm pretty sure satellite imagery. I'm pretty sure satellite imagery could project an image.
Yeah, but you're getting around.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I could drug you and you could hallucinate. I'm pretty sure.
Point now, isn't it?
No. I'm saying to you, you will not accept that as evidence.
Point.
Why?
Because you can't prove you're.
I can't prove when you say you give me the criteria. The burden. What's the burden of proof you'll accept?
Okay, in front of all these people now,
Yeah.
prove you're creator.
No. What will you accept?
No.
How can I prove it? What do you want?
No, all right, in your.
What do you want?
You prove to us there's a God.
Right. What proof will you accept?
Eyewitness evidence.
Eyewitness evidence.
Yes.
So you believe everything you see?
Everything. Yes.
Really?
So you're skirting around it again.
Even an evolutionist wouldn't
Yeah,
have
but evolution is
What's in my hand?
a proven fact.
Come on. Use your eyes. What's in my hand?
I can't tell what's in your.
Why not?
Because I can't.
Oh, is it because you're limited eyesight, can't see through flesh and bone?
Well, I don't have X-ray vision.
Ah, hello. What's in my hand?
It's not.
What's in my hand?
About coins.
How much?
You're not a rate
Probably a tenner.
Right. Can you see it?
No.
Is it there?
Yes.
Can you see it?
No.
Is it there?
yeah.
Yeah?
I tweet all the time.
So, well, it proves that your eyesight is so limited. Yeah, as using that as a burden of proof is ridiculous. Because a magician can.
That's one part of it.
You just said.
In a murder-
Seeing is believing.
No, in a murder trial,
seeing is not
in a murder
believing.
trial, even circumstantial evidence.
If you look at the sun,
Even circumstantial evidence is enough to prove someone guilty of a murder.
Can you look at the
If there's
sun?
enough, yeah. If there's
Look
enough,
at the sun.
if there's enough
Look at the sun.
circumstantial
Can you
evidence.
look at the sun?
Yeah.
No, keep looking. Keep looking.
Yeah, I see
No,
it.
keep looking. Keep looking at it.
No.
Keep looking at it. Just look at the sun for 20 seconds. Can you look at the sun for 20 seconds? No, you can't, can you? So now you're asking to look at God. And you can't even look at the sun, it's creation.
Have you seen him?
Have I seen him?
Yeah.
No. Oh, all right. So you know your claim is because I'm not seeing God, God mustn't exist.
No, but okay, then where's your circumstantial evidence? Where's all your circumstantial evidence?
Okay. Do you accept that I had a great grandmother?
Yeah.
Why? Have you seen her?
No.
I haven't seen her.
You must.
Why must I?
We know how genetics works.
And how's that?
Well, we know how
I can't be here without that, can I?
without Allah.
I can't be here without my great grandmother existing, can I?
Who was Allah?
Right. But I don't need to see her, do I?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, but you can
I don't need to see her, do I?
believe in a God and a
I don't need to see my great.
Your belief is very.
Do I need to see my great grandmother to know she exists?
No, but your belief
Right.
is very
Thank you.
specific.
Thank
You
you.
don't believe just in a creator. You believe in a very specific.
No, I'm saying to you, you're saying about seeing is believing. I've proven to you seeing is not believing. I could bring Dynamo here and prove to you seeing is not believing. Now you've said about God, how does God exist if you've not seen him? Well, I believe I had a great grandmother, I'm not seeing her either. So, what's your point?
My point is that you don't know.
Seeing, okay, here's your point. Your point was seeing is believing. Now your point is I was wrong.
Can I ask a
That's not my
question?
point.
Yes.
Okay, so what it boils down to is you believe because it says so in your holy book.
I certainly believe in Islam. So I didn't believe because of what the Holy Book says. I'm not that stupid. Yeah? First you have to convince me there's a creator. Now, I hadn't thought about whether there was or wasn't a creator. It didn't mean much to me. Yeah, religion was a joke at school. When I considered it, when I looked at the alternates, that this universe evolved by itself through monkey evolution and all of this business,
Well, yeah.
random, that didn't add up to me when I thought about it, when I reflected on it, when I looked at the communities of bees and ants and all of these things. That how can all this have evolved from one common ancestor that. It just made no sense to me. Yeah. So then when I looked at it, I realised there must be a creator. But that's not enough. All right, there's a creator. But then the next question comes in. Why is... I believe there's a creator. Why did he create me? What is his purpose? Has this creator tried to communicate with us? To let us know why he created us and what he wants from us and if he's going to help us and such. And then all the religions of the world make... I can tell you what the creator wants. I can tell you what the creator... Yeah? Now, the beautiful thing was I had a Jehovah's Witness come to my door and he had a beautiful book called Mankind's Search for God. And in that book he went through every religion of the world. Confucianism, Taoism, Shintoism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Sikhism, Judaism, Christianity, it's like every ism you could think of. And what it would do is it did the work for me. It explained the religion and then why it's false. Explain the religion, explain why it's false. Except Islam.
Piece of evidence.
Had nothing to say about Islam.
Acid.
And I was shocked by that. So then I looked into it. Then I looked at the claims that the Christians believe such and such because of their holy book, the Bible, and all the other holy books. So I questioned all religions of the world. I looked at Hinduism. Is this a true religion of God? Well, a religion that encourages a caste system where a man is superior to another man due to how he's born, where he's born. It doesn't sound like a fair religion of God to me. Then I looked at Sikhism. And Sikhism is a combination of Hinduism and Islam. And I don't see why you need to mix Hinduism with Islam. So I reject that. So I basically rejected all of the... I mean, Buddhism is not even a religion. It's a philosophy. Yeah, there's no God involved in Buddhism. Yeah, and same with Shintoism, Taoism, and all of this. So I narrowed it down to the big three: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
So the Quran supports your belief. Your belief.
I haven't mentioned the Quran yet.
No? Okay, I was just curious. That's where we're going to.
We're going there. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right. So I looked at what the Jews believe. The Jews believe they're the chosen people. Everyone else is the rejected people. We're their bounty to be used and abused because they're the chosen people. And you can't become a Jew. You have to be born a Jew. Your mother has to be a Jew. Didn't sound like a religion of God to me. Then I come to Christianity. Oh, Christianity teaches, what does this teach? It teaches that one man sinned in the garden, and because of that all men are taking the sin of that. And then to redeem that sin, God himself came down as a man to die so he could forgive us for that. I didn't buy that. Then I looked at where they get the evidence for this. Then they produced the Bible. Then I looked at the Bible and I realised that none of these people writing in the Gospels are eyewitnesses. Yeah. Then I realised that this has nothing to do with Jesus' teachings at all. This is church teachings. Yeah. Then I came to the Quran. Now the Quran was the only book that claimed to be the word of God. Yeah. And the Quran claimed to be a guide for mankind. The Bible didn't make that claim. If you read the Bible, there is no guidance for mankind whatsoever. There's no criminal justice system within the Bible, except if you go to the Old Testament where you stone the adulterers and all that business, you chop the hand off the thief. But if you come to Jesus' time, the New Testament, there's no, if you're a criminal, forgive the criminal. There's no punishment for rapists, there's nothing. There's no guide to life. Now, how to treat your neighbours, how to treat your wife, there's nothing. But the Quran is a complete guide. Now, the Quran comes with something which the Bible avoids. The Quran has what's called a falsification test. Now, this is miraculous for any religious book to have a falsification test, because this is what scientists use. This is why Albert Einstein's theory of relativity was so well accepted, because he gave 3 falsification tests to his theory. So in the Quran, Allah gives 2 falsification tests. First falsification test, Allah says in the Quran, they say this is a book written by you, O Muhammad. Then let them bring their scholars and helpers from all of mankind and come together and produce something like it. Just 1 chapter. And then he goes, and when they can't, and they shall never, then fear a fire whose fuel is men and stones prepared for disbelievers. So the warning is there. To this day, masters of languages, computer programs, whatever, cannot do that. But it's not a fair challenge to me or you, because you're not Arab and I'm not Arab. Yeah, fair enough. So the second falsification test that the Quran puts in, which you can check out, Allah says, if this book was written by any other than the Creator, inside you shall find many contradictions and error. Because men make mistakes. Now this book is revealed over 23 years. And this book is not just gibberish. This book is historical. This book contains elements of science. Now the amazing thing about science is transitory. Science is theory until history reaches a period where they can test the theory, and then they can see whether they were right or not. And then if they're wrong, they tweak it and they change it again. Well, every single thing in the Quran that was revealed 1400 years ago scientifically is correct correct today. So the question we have to ask ourselves, how could a man be so confident that everything he wrote in 7th century would be correct, read by today? This is evidence. See, you can only prove some of the science of the Quran wrong in the future. So if you spoke to a companion of the Prophet and said, oh, when a fetus forms in the womb in the stage of the pregnancy and the zygote and this and that, and you know, talk about the shape of the embryo and this and that, this couldn't be qualified or confirmed because you need an electromagnetic microscope to actually see the shape and of everything. You can't, it's invisible to the naked eye. Okay. Up until the end of the 19th century, the European scientists believed that the sperm carried a mini embryo or the egg had a mini embryo already inside it. Okay, but the Quran described the process exactly as it is today. Yeah? So we have to question, how did he get all this right? Yeah? And there was a man, not just me, there was a scientist called Maurice Bucaille, and you can Google him. And he was a French Egyptologist in France, in Paris. And he heard that there was a mummy of a pharaoh being exhibited. It was supposed to be Ramesses II from the time of Moses. Yeah, Pharaoh. Yeah. I'm playing Pharaoh. Ramesses II. Okay. And he asked, can I examine the body? And when he examined the body, he says this man died from drowning. And his colleague said to him, don't let the Muslims hear you say that. And he says, well, why not? It goes, because the Bible says that the Pharaoh's body was lost when the seas came together. But the Quran says that Allah took the body from the water to exhibit to mankind. And if you let the Muslims know that this mummy died from drowning, you'll confirm what the Quran says and show the Bible's wrong. Yeah? Now the amazing thing about this mummy, how it fulfills that prophecy. Because what's a prophecy? We shall make him an example to mankind. This mummy is exhibited in Alexandria. Alexandria is the most visited tourist destination in the world. Not just that, this mummy then is exhibited around all the museums. Yeah? It's fulfilling the prophecy. Okay. So he was shocked by this. So what he did, he took it a step further. He flew to Syria in the times of calm and he studied Arabic for 3 years. And he learned the language of the Quran himself.
I'm just curious. Do you speak Arabic?
A little bit here and there.
So did you read the Quran in a different language? You read it in
English.
Okay, because I know in terms of Arabic, it can only be interpreted. It can't be translated directly.
Yeah, it's the meaning of.
Yeah,
it's the nearest meaning.
So I was curious, like, and I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just curious.
No, you can argue all you like.
So which interpretation you choose? Do you believe?
Or
do you pick one that you?
I prefer Marmaduke Pickthall. Yeah, because I don't think he embellishes. Because a lot of the other interpreters, in brackets, you'll see a lot of things, which is their own interpretation. And like, for example, there's one Muhsin Khan, and Muhsin Khan was born in Afghanistan, and he grew up in Saudi. So you'll see his translation has a lot of things in brackets. Yeah, and then you have Yusuf Ali, who was commissioned by the English to do his Quran. Do you get me? And what Marmaduke Pickthall was, the difference between him is he was already an author. He was already a writer.
Okay.
So the style, he does it in theys and thous and, you know what I mean, Shakespearean,
like
really nice. But he doesn't embellish. He doesn't try to interpret meaning. He tries to translate direct.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And I'll be honest with you, he'll do a much better job translating from the Arabic to the English than I would from learning Arabic and trying to translate it myself. So I don't need to reinvent the wheel. Yeah, so that's already done.
So what do you say to the people who do interpret it in a different way? Because like I remember reading, there's a passage that can in the Quran and it can be interpreted. Give
me an example.
I can't remember exactly what it said.
What's it referring to?
Like treat your wife equal to you,
right?
And like only go to bed with her when she agrees to do so. And then there's another one that was like beat your wife, and you know, and both of them were interpreted correctly, but like you get to choose which one.
No. It's the same verse.
Yeah, it's the same verse,
right?
But like you can interpret it both ways, and it's.
What you got to understand is when you say beat, what do you mean by beat?
I don't know.
No. We go there. We don't mind. Yeah, you punch him in the face or whatever. All right. Now, in the Quran it says to pray, but it doesn't show you how to pray. And then the Prophet shows us how to pray, and we pray as the Prophet prayed. And the Quran says to fast, and we don't know how to fast. It doesn't describe how you fast. Then the Prophet shows us how to fast, and it says beat your wife. The Prophet shows us how you beat your wife.
Well, what's interesting is like
listen.
Muhammad is so into like equal treatment of both men and women.
Yeah,
I think it's so great about him, and so I think it's strange that they can interpret parts of it where they create where you know.
Let me explain. Listen. So the Quran says beat your wife. So when the Prophet asked about this, how do you mean beat your wife? Okay, these are the conditions of beating your wife. Then I want you to tell me whether this condition means beating. Then you'll understand how the Quran can't exactly be translated into English.
Yeah.
Okay. First thing, can't cause pain. First thing. Second thing, can't strike the face. Third thing, can't leave a mark. Right?
Okay.
So basically, this is the three things.
Yeah.
And then he uses an analogy of like a miswak. A miswak is like a little thing you brush your teeth. It's just a little flip. Right. Now, what do we deduce from that? That this is no beating.
Yeah.
How can you beat your wife? What? I want to beat her, but I can't hit her face. I'm going to body. I might hurt her. I can't hurt her. I can't leave a mark. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, flipping it. You get me? You can't beat your wife.
I agree.
All right. Now listen.
Awesome.
But the amazing thing about this verse of the Quran, it's not saying beat your wife. It's saying don't beat your wife. The verse of the Quran is saying that. I'll tell you why. Because you've heard of crime of passion in the English law. When someone comes home, finds their wife in bed with someone else, and then they can kill, even if they kill them, they have a defence in court as a crime of passion. Their emotions were so high, and they weren't thinking straight, and this was a one-off. Okay. Well, in the Quran, you come home and find your wife in bed with your neighbour, and you want to flip and slap her. You can't. Yeah? What do you have to do? Oh, what are you doing in bed with him? After that, what do you do? Oh, sleep on the floor now. Right?
Yeah.
And then after that, then you can beat her. All right, come on, man. Realistically, anyone would love to beat their wife if they found their wife in bed. They'd flip. They'd beat the keys around. They'd flip. As they do. I mean, in England, they beat their wives without reading the Quran. Yeah? The domestic abuse in England is out of control.
Okay.
Yeah? Without reading the Quran. Okay. But if they read the Quran, they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So this is the irony. The Quran saying don't beat your wife. That's the point. But guess what? The Quran doesn't say don't beat your husband. So you guys are all right.
Yeah, so I think that's awesome that it is such a peaceful religion. And so what do you say to the people who interpret it the other way?
Interpret it what way?
Like with jihadism.
Okay, what is jihad?
Jihad means...
What does it mean in English?
Doesn't it mean like you never attack first?
No, jihad means to struggle.
The struggle? Okay, yeah, I didn't remember.
That's what it means to struggle. Qatala means to fight. Jihad means to struggle, to strive. So we strive against our own desires is one kind of jihad. Yeah? Getting up for work in the morning is a jihad. Yeah? Getting up for prayer in the morning is a jihad. It's a struggle. Okay. Now, if you're talking about fighting and defense, this isn't the story. Because everybody fights and defends themselves. The Geneva Convention says everyone has a right of self-defense. So everyone has a right to defend themselves.
Yeah.
So are you referring to anything specifically?
Well, I mean, I just feel like sometimes Islam can be interpreted in a way that makes it violent when it shouldn't be in such a peaceful religion.
Well, who's interpreting it this way?
I don't know.
Okay, how many Muslims are in England?
I don't know, I don't live here.
How many Muslims in America? 5 million, 6 million maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Are they all terrorizing everyone, beating everyone up? No.
Yeah, they're
So if Islam was this religion of violence and terror...
What your opinion of them is? Do you think they're interpreting the Quran incorrectly, or do you think they're...
Of who? Of which ones? Be specific, you have to be specific.
People that are like, using Islam as a reason to be violent.
Look, what the Quran says, oppression is worse than slaughter. So if you're in a situation where you're being oppressed, it's better to die removing that oppression from yourself than to live under subjugation. That's what the Quran says.
Yeah.
So again, I ask you, if you're referring to what's happening in the world, I think you'll find every single Muslim country has been invaded. Muslim countries are not invading other people. They're being invaded. Yeah. So imagine China invaded America. What would the people of America do? They get their guns out. Wouldn't they? Or would they be occupied? No, they wouldn't. All right. So if you look at all these political situations in the world today, they've all been invaded. Even Gaza, what's been happening recently, firing the rockets, they're being oppressed. They're being cut off from the world. They're being denied. They're being abused. They're having their land taken from them. What do you want them to do? What have they got? They've got nothing. So they have to do something. Whatever they've got within them means they've tried. Yeah? But the question is, no, look at them firing rockets. No, why are you sieging them? It's not even your land. Why are you taking the olive groves off the farmers? Why are the settlers abusing Muslim neighbours and driving out? Why taking over their houses? I don't hear this in the news. I don't see this. Yeah. So if you're talking about why Muslims are violent worldwide, yeah.
Well, not most of them aren't.
No, I'm just saying. If you're talking about violence in the world, They're defending themselves. They're defending their homes. And unfortunately, we're Muslims, yeah? We're not Christians. You slap our cheek and we don't give you the other one. You slap our cheek, we bang you in the nose. Yeah, that's it. People say, oh, Islam's a religion of peace. We say this: if you want peace with Muslims, you'll have peace. If you want war with Muslims, you'll have war. It's up to you. You understand?
Yeah.
But what we also say is, if you live Islam as your way of life, you get peace in your life. That's how Islam is a religion of peace. But everything, Pamela Geller and Robert Spencer and your guys over there causing so much. Are you from America or Canada?
America.
You're American.
Yeah.
So, you must have heard of Pamela Geller. You know Pamela Geller? I'm so happy you've not heard of Pamela Geller. Robert Spencer? Oh, alhamdulillah. You're in the right circles. So anyway, so that just explains that. So the Quran says defend yourself. Yeah? The Quran doesn't say go and kill people. The Quran doesn't say go force them to be Muslims. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So what's being portrayed in the media about Islam is not Islam.
Yeah.
And if someone is burying children, which are the claims, this is not Islam. But they're just claims. Yeah, and this, you must have heard about the Yazidi women.
The what?
These Yazidis, these ones driven out in Iraq.
Okay.
Have you heard about them? Apparently this Islamic State went into Iraq and these Yazidis, the innocent Yazidis, were trying to run away from them.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know the history of the Yazidis? Can I tell you something about them?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Because I keep hearing this innocent, and it makes me mad. Well, listen. A while ago there was a video on YouTube, and this is why you can't believe everything you see either, okay? There was a video on YouTube, and it said an Iraqi girl being stoned to death by the tribal elders and the community for refusing to marry an 80-year-old man. And they tried to portray this was barbaric Islam, that this girl's being stoned to death, and the graphic images, they were actually stoning her and she was moving, and it was disgusting. But guess what? She was a Yazidi girl. And this Yazidi girl wanted to become a Muslim to marry her boyfriend. Yeah? And she'd been in security because the family wanted to harm her. Anyway, the family said, okay, we won't harm you, come home. When she came home, they dragged her out into the streets and 1,000 villagers stoned her to death. And that's the story.
Yeah.
But look what the story was put out. Muslims, barbaric. Nothing to do with that. She was killed for being a Muslim by non-Muslims. But there's nothing in the Quran that says go and harm civilians.
Yeah, there's totally not.
I think Islam is the only religion that dictates rules of war. Can't attack civilians, can't attack women, can't attack people working in the fields, can't cut down trees that grow fruit, and all of this business. Yeah? Usually you burn their farms, you siege them, you kill everyone like the Crusaders did. Islam is the only religion that has rules of war. America just flattened the place. Napalm, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Yeah, there's no men, women, or children there. They obliterate everybody. But Muslims, we can't do that. Huh? That's your question?
Yeah, no.
Good. This is for you, inshallah.
Thanks.
All right. That's the Marmaduke Pickford one, yeah.